Nikola Jokic is having the best season of his career, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are also having one of the best seasons in their franchise history. So you already know, as soon as I saw this matchup on the schedule, I had my eyes glued to the TV. But one thing you might notice is that I started this video by specifically saying that Jokic was having the best season of his career, and not anything else about the Nuggets as a team, and that's really because the Nuggets have been underwhelming, at least in my opinion. I do want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and their kind of surprising success that they've had so far this season, but I'm going to get into that just a little bit later. Because to be honest, I think it's even more surprising that the Nuggets have been so bad this year. And I do need to clarify for all the Denver Nuggets fans that are watching this video, when I say that you guys are bad, like your team isn't doing well, that's obviously a very different standard. Like, they're not the Washington Wizards type of bad, but for a team that has arguably the best player in the NBA and just won a championship 2 years ago, I think it's safe to say that they're not living up to their expectations. And to be honest, the biggest reason as for why they're not really doing that good has to be Jamal Murray. I know a lot of Nuggets fans probably agree with me, at least on that side of things, and it's just so frustrating how the Nuggets have trapped themselves in the Jamal Murray, cycle, because obviously the guy was generational when playing in the bubble, and he comes out of the bubble after all the injuries and somehow wins a championship. He did amazing beating the Lakers in that playoff run and was a key piece obviously to winning that championship, but ever since that NBA Finals and ever since he had the Larry O'Brien trophy in his hand, he has been a complete shell of himself. I remember talking about it last year and saying that the Denver Nuggets need to sell this guy. You won the championship, sell while your stock is high. Do not hold on to Jamal Murray because he is not going to be a reliable piece to have alongside Nikola Jokic on a long-term, dynasty run, I guess. And obviously the Nuggets weren't going to listen to me because they signed him on a 5-year, $150 million deal. I think this is a move that we are going to look back on. I mean, we can already look back on it and call it dumb, but we're going to look back on this in like 20 years and say, I can't believe that the Denver Nuggets did something like this and ruined Jokic's prime. Because, oh my God, the amount of games that he has caused the Denver Nuggets just because he can't be that number 2 alongside Jokic is just ridiculous. Like in this game today, yeah, you had Michael Porter Jr. putting up some numbers that was awesome, or some other, younger guys doing something, and we're going to get to those guys here in a bit, but it should be Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray needs to be the one dropping the 25 plus points and being the huge offensive guy for the team, and he just can't do that anymore. He is not capable of that unless it's against the Lakers. So obviously that situation is very interesting because who in the league is going to take a Jamal Murray contract? Probably no one. That would be one of the worst aged contracts that we see. And then you have the rest of their roster, and Aaron Gordon and MPJ are two, kind of like staple pieces that they've had also since the championship, and I don't really care for them. Like, I don't think they're insanely good or bad. Like, I'm okay with them being on the team. Russell Westbrook has had his moments for sure. I don't really want to dive into his game, but one of the things that I have in my notes here is their bench. Their bench unit consists of Najee, who is 23 years old, Strother, who is 22 years old, Watson, who's 22 years old, and Christian Brown, who is 23 years old. And that's actually awesome if you're a rebuilding team and not trying to build a contending roster around one of the best players in the NBA. Honestly, I'm getting Golden State Warriors flashbacks looking at this bench. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, these young pieces are amazing, and if you develop them correctly, like Christian Brown I think is a good example, these guys will be great pieces to have alongside Jokic and hopefully win a championship. But do you want to wait a couple years when you are currently witnessing the prime of your best player, and like I've said probably 5 times in this video, the best player in the league? Like, this is ridiculous. I know it might be insanely hard for some of these Nuggets fans to grasp with the idea of trading some young guys or making a move to try to build something more around Jokic, but keeping these young dudes around and trying to have them be the next step, like, they are just not going to be ready for that role until later on in their career, which is a couple of years, and you never know. Do you want to roll the dice? I guess so. So where do I think the Denver Nuggets are going to end up? Well, obviously they're going to be a playoff team. There's no way they drop all the way down into the play-in, and to be honest, when the playoffs do come around, I have no clue where this team is going to be. They're one of those teams that they can be a first round, second round exit, or they can make it all the way to the NBA Finals and have a chance at winning the thing. Like, I have no clue. Jokic is one of those guys where he can just be out of this world, but if he doesn't have the best support around him, then there's a chance that they just lose. So maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments below where you think they stand. But before I start talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and whether or not they're actual contenders this season, I want to take a quick second to talk about the brand new partner for my channel, Dabble. unlike other sports fantasy apps, Dabble actually allows you to connect to your friends, family, random people, or even myself. And if you notice that they've been winning a ton, you can actually copy their exact lineups with just one click. But by far my favorite part is that if you're the one winning and people want to copy your picks, you receive 5 cents for every single person that copies your lineup. So even though Andrew Wiggins completely sold in this play and I'm still frustrated about it to this day, I actually made more money than what I put into this play because I had so many people copy my lineup. So if you're in any of these states, download Dabble and use code KingCharge for a free $25 when you sign up. And you can also click the link that's down in the description. That being said, thank you Dabble for sponsoring this video, but it's time to get back to the Cavaliers. I think everyone was just a little bit confused when the Cleveland Cavaliers started the season so damn hot. Like, I know for myself, I definitely didn't give them as much attention as I should have because I just kind of thought, all right, it's the start of the season. There's no way that this continues for longer than 10 games. Surely they come back to earth soon and we'll kind of see them drop down to like that 4th seed in the East or whatever it is. And yeah, I was completely fucking wrong. This team is insane. I mean, they've developed some of the best offense in NBA history, which seems to be a sentence that we say every single year. But one of the biggest things has clearly been Kenny Atkinson. I think that's how you say his name. I've been struggling to say it. The entire scheme and game plan that he has put onto this Cleveland Cavaliers team is just so interesting. Obviously, when you're watching it, the game just looks fun as hell. The way that they're always passing the ball and cutting and kicking it out and doing whatever. But before recording this video, I read an article actually talking about it and going really in depth onto how they play and interviewing some of the players and what they thought about the game plan. And it's just so interesting, everything about it. The way that they play the cut every single time, how they use their point guard and how they open up space by having so much off-ball movement, the way that they use Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on the offensive end and how they always rotate and sit in the dunker spot but then move from the dunker spot. It's just so damn interesting. And to think that I started this season not really caring about the, Cavaliers or giving them the light of day to now wanting to watch damn near every single one of their games because of how fun their team is, it's made me a huge fan. I love what they've done over there. And the best part, in my opinion, is that they've proven to everyone else that they can beat the good teams in the league. Not to say that the Cavaliers are like a new team or like new to being good, because they were a very good team last year, but most of the time after kind of a meteoric rise like this, the teams struggle to go up against other good teams, right? Like the Boston Celtics, for example. But the Cavaliers proved themselves in that game. They beat the reigning champions, and I personally just felt like this Nuggets game was another one of those big tests, and they did that as well. In this game, they shot an absurd 45% from 3, with Karis LeVert having an amazing night off the bench. I mean, the guy was damn near perfect for 3 on 6 attempts. Donovan Mitchell just continues to be a bucket. Evan Mobley was doing his thing. Darius Garland was doing his thing. I mean, the entire Cavaliers roster is unstoppable. So you know what? All my notes aside, I think I just broke my notes. I am happily announcing that I am hopping on the Cavaliers bandwagon. I want this team to come out of the East. I don't care anymore. I think this is one of the most fun stories and developing teams that come out of the Eastern Conference in quite some time. And even though there's other teams that I do enjoy in the East, like the 76ers without Joel Embiid, or the Knicks and their new look with Mikal Bridges and Cat, seeing this Cavaliers team make like an actual run for the finals would just be one of the most enjoyable, fun things ever. Not to mention, they've always just been like LeBron's team, so the fact that they're making history without him on their franchise, kind of insane. What's even more insane is that LeBron is out of the league and they've done an entire rebuild and could damn near win a championship while he's still playing. That's even crazier, to be honest. But that being said, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to tell me down in the comments below where you think the Denver Nuggets and Cavaliers will be at the end of the season. Could this have been an early finals matchup? Who knows, man. I wouldn't even be surprised with the amount of parity there is in the NBA. But while you're down there, if you guys could just scroll up a little bit and hit the like and subscribe button, that would help out a ton. I love seeing your guys' predictions and takes down in the comments below. I read and respond to everyone. And also, if you haven't already, check out Dabble below and follow me on there. I'm following back everyone, and they're going to be a pretty fun part of this channel for some time, so I would appreciate it if you guys went over there and showed some love. That being said, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.